Assalamualaikum to our Madam Siti Nazana. We are from class MBA 1114G. We would like to explain and present on how to answer past year question on project management. So our group choose June 2018 past year question. First of all, I would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Farah Hamiza.
Hi, my name is Anita Fatima binti Zainuddin Majid.
Hi, my name is Ayu Nadia binti Muhammad Ardi.
And my name is Nur Fateh Najah binti Syamsul.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ain binti Abdullah.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Farana Tajubaria binti Razlan Shah, and I am going to explain about how to answer the first question, which is question A. So let's get started. Before we start, let me read the full question first. Jefferson Neighborhood is currently undertaking the task to complete a boulevard in Ampang. The scheduled activities and their expected duration in completing the project are shown in following table. So, as you can see, this is the table, and the table requires all the activity, which is activity A until I, and predecessor and duration for all the activities. Question A. Construct the appropriate PERT network for the project. The PERT diagram must always start with node number 1. Node number 1 will start activities with no predecessors. As we can see in the table, activity A, B, and C has no predecessors. So, node number 1 will start with activity A duration time 10, B 6, C 7. Let's proceed to the next activity, which is activity D. The predecessor for activity D is activity A. To start a new activity, we must always end the previous activity or predecessor with the next node. So, to start the activity D, we must end first the activity A with the next node, which is node number 2. Activity E is same as activity D, which is the predecessor is activity E. So, to start activity E, we can start from the same node, which is node number 2. Then, the diagram will look like this. Next is activity F. Activity F is come from activity B and C. As we can see, activity B and C is come from the same node, which is node number 1. Two activities that come from the same nodes cannot end with the same node. Therefore, activity B and C have to end separately. As you can see, activity B has to end with node number 3, and activity C must end with node number 4. Since activity F is come from activity B and C, so we have to add dummy from node number 3 to node number 4, and then we can start the activity F. Alright, next is activity G. The predecessor for activity G is activity D and F. Since activity D and F not come from the same node, so we can end activity D and F with the node number 5 and start the activity G. Next is activity H. Activity H is from activity E. So we must end activity E with the node number 6 and start activity H. Last but not least is activity I. Activity I is same as activity G. Activity I is come from activity H and G. Therefore, activity H and G can end together with node number 7 and start with activity I. And the last node will be node number 8. My friend will explain the next question.
Question B. Determine the earliest event time EET. So EET node number 1 must equal to 0, and we must follow the node number 1 by 1 until the last number of node. So we look for the node number 2. How can we get this 10? So we refer to the EET node number 1, 0, and we add to the activity A. Then activity A that link the node number 1 and node number 2. And that's how we get 10. So let's continue to the note number 3. So we refer to the ET note number 1, 0, and plus with activity B, 6, and we get 6 here. Okay, next, part like this have two activities that goes to the note number 4, which is dummy. We refer to the EET note number 3, 6, and we plus dummy, 0, so equal to 6. And from activity C, we refer to the EET note number 1, 0, and we plus activity C, 7, and equal to 7. And if have two options like this, we must choose the highest one. So we choose 7. Okay, next, note number 5. This same with the previous one that have two options. So the first one we refer to EET note number 2, 10, and we add with activity D, 9, so equal to 19. And the second option we refer to the EET note number 4, 7, we plus with activity F, 15, and equal to 22. So we choose the highest EET, 22. Okay, so let's moving on to the note number 6. We refer to the EET note number 2, 10, and we will plus with activity E, 11, and we get 21. Okay, next, note number 7. Note number 7 comes with two activities from note number 5 and note number 6. So let's calculate one by one. From EET note number 5, 22, and we plus with activity G, 8, so we get 30. And from EET note number 6, 21, and we plus with activity H, 7, so we get 28. And we must choose the highest one, so we choose 30. Okay, so the last one, note number 8, we refer to the EET note number 7, 30, and we plus with activity I, 7, and we get 37.
Okay, so for LEP, we will start from the back. As we can see, the part at answer A, there is 8 notes in total. So, we will start from note 8. As Anita said earlier, for EET, we need to add all the activities. But for LET, we need to minus it. Okay, so let's find the LET together. From note 8 to note 7, we will minus 37 with activity I, which is 7. So at note 7, we will get 30 weeks. From note 7 to note 6, we will minus 30 with 7, which we will get 23. From note 7 to note 5, we will minus 30 with 8, so we will get 22. As we can see, there is 2 ways from note 2, which is note 5 and note 6. So we will minus it as usual. For note 5, 22 minus 9, which we will get 13. And for note 6, 23 minus 11, we will get 12. So as we can see, there is 2 different answers, and we will choose the lowest one, which is from note 6, that have 12 weeks only. So from note 5 to note 4, we will minus 22 with 15, which we will get 7 weeks for note 4. Okay, so from note 4 to note 3, we will minus 7 with 0. So we will get 7 weeks at note 3. And the last one, for note 1, we have 3 ways. So we will do it as note 2 earlier. From note 2 to note 1, we will minus 12 with 10. So we will get 2. And then from note 3 to note 1, we will minus 7 with 6. And then we will get 1. And the last one, from note 4 to note 1, we will minus 7 with 7, which we will get 0. So from the 3 answer above, we will choose the lowest one, which is from the note 4. So we will get 0 weeks for note 1. Question C. Determine the project estimated completion time. So for this question, the answer is 37 weeks because we look at the EET and LET at the end of the note.
Okay, so for the question D is identify the critical path and critical activities. The answer for this question is for the critical activities is CFGI, and for the critical path is 14578. So how exactly do you answer this question? Alright, so a path consists of a sequence of nodes that begins at the start of node and ends at the last node of a PRT network. A critical path of a project is the longest time path, and all activities along critical path are called critical activities, and it must be complete according to schedule, because any delay to these critical activities will delay project completion time. Critical path consists of events that have the same EET and LET. So my friends will explain the next question.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. Question E. So, question E require state the non-critical activities. So, before that, in question D, Farah have explained how to answer that question, right? So, the answer is C, F, G, and I. So, for question E, they want to know what is the non-critical activities. So, the answer is other than that activities from D, which is the answer is A, B, dummy, D, E, and H. Okay, if you want to make a confirmation is that the answer is true or not, you can look on the EET and LET, is that the number of them is same or not. If not same, so this is the non-critical activities. Okay, so let's proceed to the last question, question F. Okay, question F require calculate the total fluid for activity H and activity G. Okay, so I will explain to you how to answer for total fluid for activity H. Okay, so the first thing first, what you need to do, you need to draw the box first. Okay, where you get the box? The box you can refer from the answer my friend has explained before, which is the question for A and B. Okay, so you refer that answer, which is H only. Okay, and then you put the box for EET, which is knots number 6, which is a 21, and LET, which is a 23. And then you draw the error, which is you put hash, comma, 7. Okay, and we proceed going back to the box, which is EET 30 and LET 30 for knots number 7. Okay, and then after redrawing the diagram, we can proceed to calculate the total fluid for H. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to put the formula, the number into the formula. Okay, what is the formula for the total fluid? Okay, the formula for the total fluid is LET heat minus EET tail minus duration. Okay, so you just put it into the formula, which is 30 minus 21 minus 7. Okay, the duration is 7. Okay, it's because H is comma 7, right? And then the answer is 2.
Next, I will explain on how to calculate the total float for activity G. Just like what Miss Ayu said earlier or explained earlier, I will explain the same but for activity G. So, before you can calculate the total float, you need to do the diagram just like Miss Ayu do. So, just write down the activity G. So, where you can get it? Just refer to the PERT diagram that were told earlier in question A. As you can see here, just list down all the information in activity G. The EET tail is 22 and the LET for tails is also 22. Next is EET for head is 30 and same goes to the LET head, which is 30. And if you notice, the 8 in the middle of it is the duration for the activity G. And for the next step is where you can calculate the total float. So here you can see the formula of the total float. So to find the total float for activity G is total float G equals to LET head minus EET tails minus duration. and you can refer back to the diagram that we just now. Okay, just fill in the formula. So it will be 30 minus 32 minus 8 equals to 0. So total float for activity G is 0. So that's all for our presentation or explanation on how to answer for the chapter 6, which is project management for the past year, June 2018.